Welcome to your daily focus for May the 18th, 2018. My name is Tilly, and this is Carol with Tilly, and thank you. Thank you truly for all of the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. Thank you for your likes, for sharing, for your comments, for subscribing. Now let's turn to the cards and see what the energy is that's going to be revealed to us. Didn't flip over. It didn't really leave the deck. It wanted to, though. I should have peeked at it, huh? Let's see how we can use this energy in a positive light in order to go forward. So today we have, look at this, the King of Wands. We're enjoying life today. We want to go forward. We want to create. We want to invent. We want to communicate our plans to others. We want to get the ball on, well, get the show on the road, get the ball moving. Very much with the King of Wands. Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles, one of the signs got this. And I just got that feeling like they were moving into such abundant wealth, such abundance. I forget who it was. I'll have to go back and see who got this card. Because I see where we want to grow. We want to create our fortune. We want to create our wealth. We want to create our abundance. We want to create our happiness. We want to create our well-being, our sense of security. And we have the Hangman. So we need to take it back still a little bit. Even though we have the King of Wands as the leader, we shouldn't rush into anything just too quickly, because we do have the Hangman at the end. So we'll start with the King of Wands, and I do love him because it looks like they said, okay, you're the king. And he threw on the crown, and he threw on these robes that were too big for him, and the crown that was too big for him. And he says, we'll adjust everything later. Let's just get going. Let's start. Let's start moving towards our plan, our dream, our goals, our desires. So we are going to have that feeling of wanting to tackle, of wanting to do something. So definitely, you know, what is your goal? What is your dream? What is your desire? Even sitting down and writing out a few bullet points is something towards your plan. So do something today very proactive that moves you even an inch closer to that long-range goal. You'll be happy you did. And I think the energy is really going to support you. So if you turn to that, it'll be easy to accomplish, or easier than usual to accomplish. Although I don't think you should really attack any really hard problems that you have been struggling with. I think there's different areas where you can inch your way forward a little bit today. You will feel the enthusiasm. You will feel the self-esteem rising, the confidence rising, the courage rising. Page of Pentacles sits right in the middle. It's about our new growth of abundance. Page of Pentacles. Pages are a very young energy. And if you can remember when you were much younger, thinking about your future forward, you're probably not where you thought you would be. But it was grander. It was more spectacular. It seemed to have flavor and spice and sugars and sweetness and joy and happiness, and you being the best you could be. I was listening to a speaker the other day, and they were talking about different cultures and art, and one of them said, we have no art. We just create everything as beautifully as we can. And that's how we start out when we start dreaming our vision of our tomorrow. And then life beats us up a lot, and we get off that path and onto another path, and we try and make it back to this path. But while we do that, we cross roads with that path, and we take that one for a little while. And we start to shrink our dream. We start to shrink our goals. And this is asking us to grow them, to expand them, to break down the barriers, to break down the limitations that we have placed upon ourselves, or we have allowed others to do for us. And we have the Hangman. So how does this fit going forward? How do we keep the balance, or how do we bring the balance in? And it's okay that we know that we are pushing things out of balance short term for the true balance to come in. Sometimes that has to happen. Sometimes we have to rock the boat a little bit to get it loosed up from the rocks we got caught up in, or the shoreline we got caught up in. Sometimes you got to rock it a little bit. Sometimes you have to get a little unsteady, but the Hangman is saying, but down the road, what are we looking at? Is there balance? Is there beauty? Is there happiness? Is there joy? Really pay attention to your intuition. Really pay attention to your sage wisdom. Let's get an affirmation card for the day. So I think it's very beautiful, strong energy to push us forward in the right direction. And while you are trying to move forward in that direction, dream a little bit bigger. Expand the horizons. Tear down those limitations. The Hermit. Number 9, the Hermit. Time out. Sometimes it's necessary to take a time out for regrouping and introspection. This is a temporary experience, but one necessary for my growth. When I step back, retreat, regroup, and renew, I have a clear perspective on everything in my life, and that's very much what the Hangman was saying. Don't just jump into it. Think it through. What is the long-term goal? Am I moving towards that goal? Will it bring in happiness? Will it bring in balance? The Hermit is telling us the same thing. When we step back, retreat, regroup, and renew, we have a clear perspective on everything. So gain that clear perspective. Know where you want to go. Do those little baby steps, those bite-sized steps towards goals and dreams, but grow the dream bigger and understand how to move forward. And sometimes that's a step back. Sometimes it's looking at it through a new eyes, different perspective. Or understanding what is really limiting you. As you try to move forward, what is that thing blocking you? Retreat. Look at it. Sometimes we can't find the door because we're too close to the wall. We take a step back, we see the door clearly. Broaden your perspective, broaden the horizons of your tomorrow. Absolutely. And we will get an animal card. Allow some childlike wonder to come into your life. Some belief. Believe in magic today. Believe in the possibility of your tomorrow. Deep rest. So our affirmation card, our third card, our affirmation card, and our animal card are all about taking a step back, understanding where the balance is. The first two cards are telling us to move forward, or at least dream the possibilities of. We're going to want to go forward. So don't be disappointed if you try to go forward a little bit and nothing really gives or anything. That's just telling you even stronger that you need to pay attention to pulling it back, to taking a broader scope of things, seeing what is limiting you, seeing what is pulling you back. You know? I can't do that. They'll all laugh at me. They'll disown me. Well, why do you think that? Maybe you just need to have a conversation with them about that. Then you have to decide if their opinion really matters. Lazy, sleep, rest, and meditate. Rest is not idleness, and to lie sometimes on the grass under the tree on a summer's day, listening to the murmur of water or watching the clouds float across the sky is by no means a waste of time. Mouse says that it's time for you to make time for laziness. You don't have to be constantly on the go after all. That is how you become run down. Spend a little time each day or week doing something you enjoy that is completely frivolous and fun. It could be just an afternoon laying in the hammock, reading a book, watching your favorite old movie, or playing with the kids. This is not a time to begin anything new. It is a time of restoring your spirit. And we are in the new moon energy, so I'm kind of surprised that Moses is showing up and telling us this, but we need to listen. Sometimes we're asked because we just don't want to jump into things for the hope of getting somewhere. We want to grow it, we want to expand it, we want to think about it, we want to have the plan. As the Hermit says, we must have the plan to be sure of our steps, to really realize the potential of the opportunities that lay before us if we allow it, if we're daring enough to step into it. Sometimes rest doesn't necessarily have to be sleeping, but just quieting your mind. Take some time grounding yourself by taking a yoga class, gardening, fishing, or spending time in nature. Today, I went barefoot for the first time this year. Oh, did that feel good. You want to feel grounded and connected to the earth. Kick your shoes off and walk around. You won't regret it. Spend at least 10 minutes a day meditating and just being in the moment. You don't have to physically be at your happy place to go to your happy place. It can simply be within your mind. The more you practice, the easier it becomes. I would say right now is a beautiful time to imagine your future and make that your happy place. Remember, it hasn't happened yet, so the only negative in your dreams of your tomorrow is the ones that you put in there. And ask yourself, why are you putting in that limitation when it doesn't exist yet? You may get some clarity, you may get some understanding that will allow you to charge forward. Until we meet again, remember, I do love you.